Hi everyone, welcome to Set Up and Score. We're just letting everybody in. So thank you for joining us. My name is Leigh. I'm the head of customer success at ScoreApp, and I have my colleague Sarah with me as well. So Sarah will be manning the chat. If anyone has any questions, you can feel free to take your mic off and ask myself, or if you prefer to pop it in the chat, please feel free to do so as well. We're going to have a very interactive session today. So we're going to go through the process of creating a scorecard from start to finish, launching it. I'm going to ask for examples, if anyone's happy to share with me where they are at the moment. And hopefully then we can just start to gather ideas for everybody that's here as well. So just to begin with, it would be really helpful if you could pop in the chat where you are in the process. Just give me an idea of whether you haven't started yet, whether you've just started to build it, whether you've launched it, finished, ready for launch. Any information is really useful. So hi, Rebecca, thank you for joining. You just launched last week. I hope it's going well. Hi, Angela. So you're a complete starter, so it's going to be really useful. Hi, Tony. Published it last night. Fantastic. So early days, but well done for getting it done. Denitza, hope I've said that right. Hi, welcome. Not started yet. William, you're beginning your studies, so looking into it. Great. David, soft launch to clients, friends, and colleagues. Great. Penelope, haven't started yet. I've got 2 businesses and unsure how to position it. Well, that will be, we're covering concept first of all, so that will be useful for that. Charles, you got 20 questions done. That's great. Hi, Mark, just starting to develop. These are popular ones from the ready ones. Brilliant. Okay, and Danielle, you're developing. Hi, welcome. Tanya, haven't started yet, got some ideas and looking forward to learning. Oh, brilliant. Thank you very much. So we've got some people at the beginning, some people working on it, and some people that are launched and eager to learn more, I'm sure. So we're going to cover all of those areas. So to begin with, before we go to the platform, I would like to talk about the concept. So this is the idea that your scorecard is based around. And we always recommend that it's going to deliver value to your target audience. And therefore, if you base it around a common desire or a pain point from your target audience, it can really help them to gain that clarity on where they are at the moment. For example, if I was a health and fitness coach, the concept for my scorecard would be to help people get fit and healthy. I can develop the health and fitness quiz. I can develop my questions, give people a score against certain areas such as exercise, sleep, nutrition. And from that, they're going to be able to see where their strengths are, where their weaknesses are, what area they could focus on to really help them to reach that ultimate goal. In return, you get loads of great data and you can push that across into a CRM, or you can export it from the platform, and that allows you to plan some tailored follow-up sequences, so you know a lot more about them, and then you can continue that relationship with them with that benefit of having that data behind you as well. So the concept, I'm just going to share my screen now. We won't go through very many slides today, but if we've just got a few helpful slides. So the concept is the idea of your scorecard, and then we need to transfer that into a hook, which is a really enticing headline that will go on your landing page for your quiz, so that when your quiz users arrive there, they're like, fantastic, this is perfect, this is exactly what I need. It tells them what it is, how it's going to help them, and then they press start to complete the quiz. So I'm going to talk through a number of different ways we can start brainstorming for those headlines. It's going to help with the concept creation as well. And the first way we can approach it is to think about what that desire or what that goal is. And here's some examples. So key person of influence scorecard. The founder of ScoreApp is Daniel Priestley, which I'm sure many of you are aware of. One of the other companies Daniel runs is Dent, and the Key Person of Influence program, and he's developed the Key Person of Influence scorecard. And that's really where the idea of ScoreApp was born, because Daniel wrote a book, wanted to know more about those people that were reading the book, and developed the scorecard as the next step in the process. People take that scorecard, their sales team then use the data to follow up and to show them how they then can help them to improve the scores where they could really have that biggest opportunity for them. You could also base it around a pain or frustration. So going back to my fitness example that I started with, the weight gain prevention scorecard. So it's helping people. The concept is fitness, becoming healthy, but it's just the way that we're packaging that up into a hook of a headline. Another example there, avoid burnout scorecard, avoid being hacked scorecard. So it's just using that avoidance technique. We've then got, this one works really well, and it can be applied to a lot of examples. So it's using, are you ready to, and then the rest of it's blank for you to try and fit your concept into. So are you ready to run a marathon? Take the scorecard. Are you ready to quit smoking? Take the scorecard. All really useful. In the end, they get their score, they find out where they need to focus on their efforts so that they can prepare and to run that marathon in that example. You then might have something topical or seasonal. So all of our ScoreApp packages, from the starter onwards, that includes 2 live scorecards. So if something trending comes along, you have a topical, like a spike in certain periods of the year where you could devise a campaign that would suit a scorecard. It may be that that's another suitable use case. It may be that you've got a guest speaker coming along, or that even that you're running a webinar and you can use a scorecard as a way of registering people for that webinar. Finally, we have the ability to produce outcome, personality, or highest scoring category quizzes. So there might be some of you that don't necessarily want to deliver a score, but more an outcome. So the examples are you an introvert or an extrovert? What kind of event planner are you? Discover your budgeting personality styles. And at the end of that one, for example, you might find out that you are a relaxed budgeter, a conscious budgeter, and then you can give advice tailored to that particular personality style. So that the way that we set those up on the platform can be slightly different to the scoring ones. So if anyone has got an idea for that in mind, then we can certainly go through that as we go through building the scorecard. So I hope that's been useful to help you, for those of you that are at the very beginning and just trying to define your concept. I was going to ask if now you wouldn't mind sharing your ideas for your concept in the chat. It's really nice to bring these ideas into life. So if you've already got yours launched, you might already have your headline, which you can share with us. If not, and you can apply any of the other ideas, are you ready to something, it can help with that thought process. So please feel free to type them in the chat and we can go through them as they come in. How are you struggling to sell your property? Yeah, so are you struggling to sell your property? Or you could exactly flip that and, how to are you ready to get the most from selling your property, potentially? Are you ready to be successful first-time CEO? Absolutely, yeah, I really like that. Take your solopreneur business to the next level. Are you ready? Are you ready to take your solopreneur business to the next level? I like it. I think sometimes you can drill down more precisely into that next level just to define what it is and really get that hook, drilling into that desire, whether it's to, grow your profits, whether to increase your sales. So it's a great concept, and then trying to really sort of drill down into the detail. Are you ready to get a good night's sleep? Yeah, absolutely. Take the sleep scorecard. That's a nice one. I'm a Reiki master teacher helping women reduce anxiety, stress. Perhaps the avoid burnout one would be good. Absolutely. So that's a really nice, scorecards are really nice for that. They give people, a sense of, which areas to focus on. So it's just getting that into that headline, and avoid burnout. I agree. Yeah, would work with that one. Are you ready for permanent weight loss? Yeah, absolutely. That works. I like it. Brilliant. So thank you for sharing those. We've got a nice mix of concepts there. So now we've got the concept, we are going to go to building the scorecard. When you first come to the platform, you will be asked, whether you want to start from scratch or whether you want to choose a template. Now, if there is a template there that is closely aligned with your concept, then I would recommend sort of choosing it, because there will be elements of that you can use. You might like the questions, you might just want to add to the questions, you might just want to brand up the landing page. So if it's suitable, then go for it, choose the template. If there isn't anything that's closely aligned with your concept, we can start without a template. And within then the landing page and the results page, there's some more templates that we can use. So don't be put off if there isn't a template there that's closely aligned. I would just recommend starting without a template. Once you've got to that stage, we're going to focus a lot of our time on this build icon on the blue left-hand toolbar. So these are the elements that we need to kind of focus on to get the scorecard or the quiz ready. I'm going to actually start by talking about the landing page. So this is the page that you will drive people towards. And if we click on this square box with the arrow pointing outwards, it takes you to the landing page. I'm just using a demo one to show you here. I'm going to cover best practice for what should go on this page, but just before I do, I wanted to share with you how to navigate through the builder. So if you have chosen a template, you can click on the landing page that exists in your list to start to edit it. Or if you've started from scratch or you want to build your own, then you can click on Create Landing Page. You can see there we do have different structures for landing pages. So if there's one that you like, then you can choose that. I like to start without a template because then you can just look at all the available sections and just add them to suit. So once you've opened up the landing page, this is where you can start to create the structure. If you're using a template and all that you don't need to add any sections, that's great, but there is the option to do so. So here we have add section, and then you can see we have different banner styles available. And it may be when you're choosing your banner, you have a particular image that you want to use, and you would choose the most suitable banner style that would house that particular image. We've also got banners where the form appears on the page rather than as a pop-up. You will find call to actions, which on the landing page will always be, let's go to the questions, let's start the quiz. You've got testimonials, and we'll talk about how to use those on the landing page. We've got categories where you could talk about what areas they will receive their score against. You can add videos to the landing page should you wish to. And then we've got other content sections which suit information such as how does it work, who are we, what to expect. So all of those kind of sections. And as soon as you click on a section, it will drop down to the bottom of your landing page. If I then hit the back arrow, I can see all my sections here, and I just need to hover above the relevant section and I will see some dots. If I click on those, I can then drag and drop them into position. So you add the right section, you drag and drop it into position, and then once you've done that and you're happy with your structure, you can start to format each of the sections with your imagery, with your text, with your branding. So starting at the very top section, I'm going to click on it, it's called the header, and I can select my logo then, so I can upload it from my files. You can also search free images at any point. And if it's an icon that you're particularly looking for as well, you can click on the funnel to change it from images to icons. So within this header section, you'll always see a style option. And if you click on that, it gives you some more formatting options. So you can make that logo bigger or smaller. You can choose to position it left, center, right. You can choose to have it in its own individual section at the top or inside the first section. And you can also add margin space on each of the sections as well, or reduce them. So you can really start to make this template suitable for yourself. So that's how we would then go about formatting each of the relevant sections. So I just advise you to go section by section, enter your text, click on the style option, go through the formatting options, upload your images. And then you just need to save, and it will be the home page that is published and made default that will be connected to your scorecard. You can see how it looks on mobile by clicking along the top toolbar, and desktop, so you can make sure it's optimized for both, and you can also preview it by hitting the preview button here. So I'm just going to come back out now. And you can see that I've got a number of landing pages in my list, but it is the one that's published and made homepage that will be connected with your scorecard when you drive traffic to it. So one more thing I wanted to mention on the landing page before we cover best practice is the URL. So the URL, you will be assigned, it will be your account name and some code initially. But if you head to the scorecard builder and choose settings, you can customize the URL here. So if you're on the starter package, you can customize the section before .scoreapp.com. And if you're on the advanced package upwards, you can also include the option of a custom domain name. And I'm happy to talk through how to organize that at the end, if anyone needs any help with that. Okay, so just going to go back to my slides now, and so that we can, bear with me a second, so that we can talk about all those best practice elements. So clear, credible, and interesting copy, stating the time investment. So give people an idea of how many questions, how long it's going to take them, so they know how much time they are going to invest at the start. When it says be clear on what they will get from taking the scorecard, that's the ultimate benefit. What goal is it going to help them to achieve? And make sure that's really brought out. So you know, it's going to help you to manage your stress. It's going to help you to feel better. It's going to help you to live a long, healthy life. So it's those kind of items, and really, you know, going through all the value that taking this scorecard is going to offer to them. So keeping your branding fluid throughout, and that's not just on the landing page, that's on the questions and on the results page. We also recommended including some information about yourself or who has created the scorecard. That just really helps with the credibility. So not only have they arrived at your landing page thinking, this is exactly what I need, this sounds really good, really helpful, they can also say, but you know, who's created it, and they can see how it's linked with your, you know, experience, and how you've provided it as a valuable tool. You can also include testimonials on your landing page, and the best practice for those would be to link it to how that scorecard has helped somebody. And it could be something as simple as, you know, this scorecard really was the beginning of my journey. It opened my eyes to the biggest area I wanted to focus on. And obviously invite that kind of feedback, just to really bring that scorecard to life. If you have any bonuses, such as we have lots of customers who are authors, and it can work really nicely to offer a copy of the book or a section of the book. It may be that you run a webinar that you could offer complimentary tickets to. So any kind of incentives, if you have them, they're great to include on the landing page as a bonus. And then all the call to actions will be to take the scorecard. Now, on our website, scoreapp.com, we have got so I have got it open somewhere. Here we go. So if we go to product and made with ScoreApp, you will see some examples of some existing quizzes that are showcased here. Really useful for looking at how others have created their quizzes and landing pages ideas. And there's one that I just want to take you through called the Scale Up and Exit Business Assessment. So headline, are you looking to grow, exit, or sell your business? So we know exactly what it is from that headline. Find out if your business is ready to scale rapidly and achieve a successful exit. Here's the time investment. It takes just 4 minutes and you'll receive an instant PDF containing valuable advice tailored to your situation. So the call to action, start my assessment. This is the credibility piece. So we've been trusted by 10,000 brands. We've got the logos there to support it. This is quite nice as well because we're showing people, you know, the benefit of going through to the end. They're going to receive their 13-page customized report, plus that bonus 60-minute scale up and exit strategy session. And we've got that visual to support it. This is really nice as well. So how does it work? You're going to answer 23 questions. You're going to get these actionable insights. And this just helps with what I was calling that ultimate prize. How's it really going to help them? So here you've got improve your business's ability to scale rapidly, increase cash flow, profit valuation, and successfully exit. You've then got information about how their scores are going to be broken down, and you've got further information about the CFO Centre as well. So there's some nice sections in there that you could definitely incorporate into your landing pages. The landing page should all be about the value in taking the scorecard, and it's a what's in it for me. So we would avoid being sort of sales focused on the landing page. Instead, focus on that value. And then the results page is that opportunity to really start showcasing how you can help people. Has anybody got an example or their link to their ScoreApp landing page that they're willing to share in the chat? So it would be a nice working example. Doesn't matter if you haven't finished yet or you haven't launched, but it's just really nice to see how others. So Tony, thank you for sharing that. I am going to click on that. Okay, so discover whether you're taking the right steps to protect your health. So I like it. It's nice. I think the one thing that's missing for me initially is that it doesn't sort of scream out that you're going to get a score and that it's a quiz or an assessment. So sometimes if you've got the heading like that, which I think is a great hook, discover whether you're taking the right steps to take our health and fitness quiz, and obviously it'd be, you know, the optimal health and fitness quiz to discover your score. So that could be a nice subheading. Are you tired of feeling reactive when it comes to your health? Do you want to take a more proactive approach? Our quiz can help you determine whether you're taking the necessary steps. So I like it. It's describing how people might be feeling, how it's going to help. And we've got that time investment. So with just 17 simple yes/no questions, we provide you with personalized feedback and actionable tips for improving your health. You'll get insights into the areas just below. And then we talk about the areas, and we've got the sign up form there. So there's two options really. You can go with the form in the banner, or you can go with it as a pop-up. Now you've got lots of information in there before that's going to entice me to input my details. What I see sometimes is that we've just got the headline and then we've got the form. So my advice with that is just to make sure you really introduce the value before you show the sign up form. So that's good. Your health proactivity will be assessed in the following. So physical health and fitness, nutrition, healthcare. Yeah, absolutely. Don't just take word for it. See what others. I've taken a lot of health quizzes before, but the I was the one the most helpful. It was clear, concise. So those testimonials are all linked to how the scorecard has helped them, which is great. And then we've got this section. So how will this quiz help me? Hi, I'm Tony, a behavior change in health and lifestyle. To health and fits of their usual reactive approach most people take. So that bit's so it's nice. Appreciate that might not be finished yet. My advice would be to introduce your experience and that why you created this tool. But that looks good. I think that's got some really nice elements into it. I think the only thing I would say that you could add to that is maybe a little bit more about what they can expect at the end. So a quick visual of how it works. So, answer the questions, receive your score, receive your advice in all of the areas, get those actionable tips. So that could be a further sort of optimization that you could bring in as well. But yeah, looks really good. Thank you. Let's see if we've got any other ones. We've got the sales. I'm just going to close that one so don't get too confused with my tabs. Sales pipeline. So extra value from you're looking for some quick sales wins. Discover how your sales pipeline currently scores and uncover useful insights to help your business to boost sales and ultimately increase revenue. So looking for some quick sales wins. I like the headline. I don't think it screams out immediately that they're going to get a score. Are you ready would work really nicely there. Are you ready to increase your quick sale wins? Take the sales growth scorecard, for example, discover your score. Maybe that would be an idea to further develop that. So we've got a completely free tool, proven to generate results. They're tailored to you, come up where you are. So these are all nice benefits of taking the scorecard. We've then got how it works. Introducing the credibility, because the scorecard has been developed by a team of marketers and sales leaders with over 30 years experience. We know we've got 10 questions and we're going to get the score, customized results, detailing how we can improve quickly and easily. Are you ready to increase your sales? This scorecard is going to show insights of quick wins with actionable steps on how to improve results. Yeah, I think I like it, and it's got some great information there. I think what would add to that scorecard is like, who's it for? So it could be, if you're a small business, you're an entrepreneur, you're in this certain situation, and just a bit more background information about you, perhaps, and why you've created this scorecard, who it's for, and a little bit more personalization on there. And I think that would be great. But yeah, I really like it. Thank you for sharing. Okay, we're going to do one more before we. So we've got David. Let's have a look. So are you ready to be a successful first-time CEO? Our quiz will help you to find out. I think that's a nice hook of a headline. It definitely explains exactly what it is and who it's for. So I like that. Our quiz will help you to find out. Do you know what areas you personally need to improve to be a successful first-time CEO? In under 3 minutes, we've got the time. Discover your rating along with tangible action steps to improve. Find out where the required development is needed to ace this first role and make it the launch pad for the rest of your career. So that's nice. It really does, explain who it's for, how it's going to help. What areas will this short quiz help you with? Building the necessary confidence, building the critical relationships will help you with. This could be more of a, in this quiz, you will receive, you will be measured based upon confidence, relationships, because you might have, if somebody is thinking, oh, am I going to be a CEO, but they're already feeling confident. I suppose we're focusing on the fact that their score there could be that they are confident already. So I would maybe just look at the way that that section's positioned, but otherwise, the information in there is really good. First-time CEOs everywhere share similar issues. We've worked with CEOs, so that's just, I think, left from using the template. That's it. Including, I like that. Oh no, I see what you mean. So first-time CEOs everywhere share similar issues. We've worked with CEOs in many different industries, including construction, healthcare, luxury goods. Yeah, you could put a little bit more about them yourself there, and in terms of particular clients that you've worked with, perhaps how many years, you know, whether you've got a methodology, all of that information. What will this quiz give you? Give you a clear action plan, save time and effort, boost confidence. I really like that's really bringing to life the benefits and the value in taking the quiz. Identify what you need to improve to succeed. So that one could again be like, you know, the clarity to know exactly where your greatest area of opportunity lies. So rather than sort of maybe attracting those people that think they've got an issue, you're thinking, you know, people that more broader are like, I wonder how I score, and that sounds good. I want to see where my opportunity is. And then you've got that information there. So yeah, that looks really nice. I think there's some really great information in there. So thank you for sharing that one. So we're going to move on from the landing page now, and we're going to go back to the platform, and we are going to talk about questions because they come next. So once they've gone from the landing page, they've entered their details, they're going to start going through the questions. Now, if you use categories, they get an overall score and a score against each of the categories that you've entered. So it allows them to see at a snapshot where they're stronger and where they're weaker. And it may be that you've got a methodology like the 5 Ps that you could break your categories down into. So my advice with using categories is just to make sure that they're meaningful to your program or meaningful to the person taking the scorecard, where they get that kind of clarity, so they can go, okay, I'm really good at this, and actually this gives me an opportunity if I focus on this area. When you come to add them, you just simply click on add category, give it a name at the initial stage. And then if we click on questions, you've got 2 views here. I like to click on the first option, which then allows you to pop the question directly underneath the category. And if we click on add question, you can see that we've got a number of different question formats. So yes, no, maybe. And sometimes, you know, in terms of scoring those questions, they're definitely the easiest questions for people to flow through. We recommend that you keep them factual. So you're not asking someone to go off and check something. It's something that can be answered with a yes, no, sometimes, yes, no, maybe. And I'm just going to show you how the scoring could work for that. So for example, if I said to someone, do you sleep more than 8 hours a night? And someone says yes, they've scored the point. If they say no, that's the negative answer, they don't score any points. So you can keep it as straightforward as that. Then we've got sliding scales, or 3 different versions of scales. You can make those scales however big you'd like them to be. So this one, I could make it a 1 to 10 scale. If you click on more settings, you can add your left label and your right label. And that means that there's 10 points available. Wherever the person taking the scorecard places themselves on that scale is how many points they've achieved out of 10. Multiple choice are the next 3 question formats. We've got multiple choice buttons, so they click straight on the answer, or you've got multiple choice check boxes, so they put their tick in the box next to the question and then click on next. And you've got, no, that's the multiple choice radio buttons. Multiple choice check boxes allows you to pick more than one answer. So if I wanted to use, you know, tick all that apply, I could then click on more settings and set a minimum and maximum option count. Scoring wise, with multiple choice questions, if I was going to ask the same question, so how many hours sleep a night do you get, and give them some options, if they pick 8 hours plus, that's obviously the top option, so I would give them a higher score. If it's between 6 and 7, I might give them a point. If it's less than 6, then I would give them 0. So it really just goes in strength of the answer there. How the scoring works is, this is the little maths bit. So it will add up the total amount of points possible per category. So in exercise, if I had 10 points available and whoever was taking my quiz scored 5 out of 10, the platform converts it to a percentage, and it determines which score tier they fall into based on the percentage ranges entered under results and score tiers. These are always percentage ranges. These are the default settings, but you can tailor them. You can add tiers, change the labels, change the colors. Otherwise, this is 100% broken down into thirds, and we use the traffic light system. So you might not want to make any changes at all, but that is how it works. I wanted to share with you my slides again, just to show you sort of some helpful insights into how many questions in particular to use. So if you're creating a cold lead scorecard, we would recommend fewer questions, just because those people won't have had any experience of you today. It's a nice introduction to you. So we'd recommend 1 or 2 categories and around 8 to 15 questions. If you're appealing to warmer leads, you could obviously increase those categories, increase those questions to around sort of 20 plus. And then if you're onboarding or you're using a scorecard for existing clients, obviously then there is sort of no limit in terms of the number of questions. This always has to be balanced with giving somebody a credible score as well. So if you feel, and it's different per target audience and per use case. So if you feel that you've got a cold lead scorecard, but you tip over that number of questions, as long as it's all delivering value and those questions are easy to flow through, then that's absolutely fine. As I mentioned, yes, no, maybe, they are the easiest question formats to use. You can introduce other question formats. It's quite nice to have that element just to keep it more interesting, more engaging of different question formats. You could also flip the positive answer. So it's not always yes and someone's clicking yes. You might want to make no the positive answer in some cases. As well. So it's always quite nice once you've developed it to get some colleagues and some friends to test it for you, see how long it's taken them to answer, make sure that the questions are engaging and thought-provoking all the way through as well. Before I move on to the results, I wanted to show you how you can use ChatGPT. We are actually at ScoreApp, we are just about to launch a beta version of an AI integrated tool that will help you. It's an AI setup wizard. So it'll help you to create a scorecard. You just have to input your concept and it will give you some questions to choose from. It will give you some results output to choose from. So it's going to take a lot of that sort of heavy lifting away from the beginning. We do have actually a wait list if you're interested in joining that beta version. So Sarah, I don't know if you have the link for that available. If you could pop that in the chat, that would be great. If not, we can always send that out afterwards as well. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for the beta version, we have got this tool. So ChatGPT, if you haven't used it already, it's absolutely changed the way I create a lot of quizzes. That I create quizzes. And I wanted to show you how you can use it for the elements we've already discussed. So the landing page, the questions. So I've gone for the concept of helping someone with their well-being. I suggest quiz headlines for a quiz aimed at assessing somebody's well-being. And it's come up with 10 suggestions. So the well-being check-in, an assessment of your mental and emotional health, the mind and body balance quiz, the burnout prevention quiz, the mindful living quiz. There's some really nice ideas in there. So I would suggest, if you haven't got that concept and that headline sort of nailed, is to kind of use ChatGPT. It will help you to sort of continue on with your brainstorming. You can then, once I've picked suggest questions I could use in a quiz called the Wellbeing Check-in, an assessment of your physical and emotional health. It's then suggested sort of 14 questions that I could use. My next prompt was, could you suggest 3 categories I could split the above questions into in order to break down the overall score? And I really liked the categories it suggested: physical health, emotional health, life satisfaction, so you can see how it can be a really useful tool. We haven't covered the results page yet, so I'll move on to the results page, and then I can show you how it can also help you to prepare the results content as well. So going back to the platform, now we've looked at the score tiers, it leads us nicely into developing the results page. So the results page is the screen they see immediately after finishing the questions. You will have, if you've got a template, you'll have a results page in there which you can click on to edit. If you're starting from scratch, you will see that create result page button at the top there, and you'll have a number of different templates that you can choose. Once you are inside the results page editor, you'll have some more options in terms of the way that you present the results. So again, it's very similar to the landing page, but if we go to add section here, we can now pay a particular attention to these results section. So overall score wise, we could present it as a percentage in a donut chart, in a spider diagram. We have a speedometer, a thermometer, and we actually have, this is more of a recent addition, but we actually have the traffic lights there where you can show people how they scored. So it may be that if you haven't got categories, then the donut chart might not be the best format for you. It might be the speedometer or the percentage. So it really just depends on how you've set up the quiz and how you'd like to deliver the results. So you add the way that the results section that you'd like. And then if you click inside it, you will see this option to enable dynamic content. If you slide that on, it will then open up your score tiers. So you could write specific content in the low tier, do the same for medium and high. They all sit in the platform, but the person taking the scorecard will only see the version that is relevant to them. So that allows you to acknowledge your score and tailor the way that you speak to them. So if somebody's scored really well, it's congratulations. It's great to see that you're excelling, in this area. If, and your advice would be, keep up the good work, keep yourself up to date, and you could lead them on to still sort of booking in a call if that's your call to action, or leading them to another area where you'd like them to go. You've then got, as well as the overall score, when you go to add a section, you've also got different ways of presenting categories. So you could pick one of those, and then you can click on each individual category, and you can also enable dynamic content, so you can tailor the advice that you give to people. And when it comes to the categories, you might offer a bit more value here. So describe the category, acknowledge their score, and then give them a couple of tips or a couple of insights that might spark some light bulb moments, something that they can take away with them to start thinking about that would help them to improve their score. You've then got your call to action section here. We've got a number of different ways to display that call to action. You'll find that those designs there that you can choose from to format. And you might want to include more information on this page. You might want to include testimonials which are linked to your business. You might want to include some content, more content about you and what you offer here. Call to action wise, you can link to the button. If you are offering a Calendly call, you can type in your Calendly link directly into there. It may be that you want people to reach out via email, in which case you can write mail to : and your email address. It may be that you're linking to some external site to join a wait list or register for a particular event. So just deciding the call to action, and then you can add the link into your ScoreApp results page. Again, your page does need to be made default in order for it to be connected. So I'm just going to come away from here now. So your results page is the screen they see immediately after the questions. If you're on the starter package, that's the output. So the ScoreApp platform will fire off an email with a link back to access that page. They get to keep it, refer back to it. If you're on an advanced package, you also have the PDF feature. So you could make the results page a snapshot, making it clear that their PDF has been emailed to them. And then in terms of creating the PDF report here, when you click on Create PDF Report, you get 3 suggested structures. I would recommend starting without a template. And then when you come to build your PDF, and this could be as big or as small as you'd like it to be. If you click on Add a Page, you can start to set that structure. And it may be that you have a front cover, you have an intro page, you display their overall score, then you display their category scores, and then you start to drill down into the individual category. So you might have a description page and a next steps page. So, and each page can be dynamic. So you scored low, here's 5 tips for you to improve your score. So you'd add a page for each one of your categories and start to format that so it's fully branded. And then in your result email, you can link to your report PDF just by changing the merge field and adding the report button there. Right, so I've done a lot of talking now. So I would like to offer anyone who wants to share their results page with me. That would be wonderful. And we could just have a look, see some real life examples. Yeah. David, are you happy for me to share? Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so I'm just going to find you on the platform here. Okay, so we've looked at your landing page, which had loads of great information on, and now we're going to go and have a look at your results. So here we've got, thank you for taking the successful first times. The quiz results on this page will give you a benchmark against which to measure yourself. On the next page, you can review more detail on your scores. For individual categories, you can now measure your progress towards becoming a successful CEO. Nice introduction. Here, we've got the donut chart. We can see our overall score, our score in each area. We've got the dynamic content. So from that, it looks like it appears that you're already doing many things well as a CEO, but there are still many areas to work on. So that's a nice introduction to, when someone's scored in that mid-tier, you know that they're doing some things, but they've still got this opportunity to develop further. It looks like you've been developing the skills and relationships you need to be successful. If you go on to get these relationships right, both within, then everything else will start falling into place. Your overall score is shown here, and the next page gives more detail for each category score and the insights you have missed. Building confidence, developing external relationships, developing recognition. Okay, fantastic. And then we've got the information. So we've got the score. These are dynamic as well. And it looks like, they're going to get loads of value from this quiz without me studying the results now. There's lots of content in there. It's tailored. So these are the kind of things that I would look for in terms of best practice for a results page. I can see that you're just finishing that category there. So this is your call to action, the CEO winners circle. Inside and outside people, get these right. Grey area coaching focuses internal relationships. That's nice. That's starting to introduce you and your methodology. And then want to talk about your results. If you'd like to learn more about your score and what it means for your business, let's arrange a Zoom call. Click here and follow the contact tab on our website. So you've linked contact tab, which is absolutely fine. If you've got Calendly, obviously, then that's a more direct link to booking a call. Free 45-minute consultation. And we're helping. If you're ready to take your session, we'd love to help you. It's a relatively small investment with a major long-term payback. So is that one a complimentary, David?
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Yes.
So this investment part, is that linked to, I've just read it, so I'm not sure if that is in terms of booking the call or working.
Yeah, no, it's for a follow on from the for the freebie. So you're right to point that out.
Yeah, I think just just the fact highlighting that it's complimentary.
Yeah,
it all adds to the value in it. David Roche has 25 years of board director. Qualified coach, mentor, couldn't be done without David. And you've got those testimonials there as well. I think that results page is really great, David. I really like it. Nearly there with it as well. Just that last section to finish off.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing, David. I will just run through some last few bits on the platform, some key features. I'm just aware of the time, and then I want to open up to questions. So I'm just going to come out of here now, and I'd like to just show you ChatGPT. Go back to that. The prompt that I typed in, and this is going back to the well-being. If someone scores low in the physical health category, how would you acknowledge this, and what advice would you give them that they could begin to implement? Now, it gave me some feedback. All of it was really, really good. And then I asked if it could write this advice directly to them, and it did. So you can see you could do that for each. If someone scored medium, if someone scored high, what advice would you give them? And you can use it definitely to develop further in terms of creating your results. So that's how you can use ChatGPT a little bit more. Let's just head back to the platform and let's look at some other features that you have. So here you will have an abandon email. So if you turn that on, an email will be automatically fired off within an hour of no activity. And that's for people who have started the quiz, but then don't finish. And it provides them a link back to finish that quiz as well. So that's quite a useful feature. Under settings, you will find share appearance. This controls what your quiz looks like once it's shared on social media platforms. So that's a really nice, if you give it a title, a description, and an image, I would recommend doing that. If you're using any tracking and you want to do any Facebook, Google Analytics, LinkedIn, all your codes can be pasted into this page here. And then we have the integrate feature on the blue toolbar. Now, this allows you to connect with your CRM. These are our direct integrations here. In addition, we also have Zapier, which if your CRM isn't a direct, it often acts as a bridge between the two. Once you've selected your CRM, it will ask you to enter your API key, and then it will open up information for you, fields for you to map across. So you can actually map across the lead details, so name, email address, any other items you have on the lead form, and then you can start to map across scores, answers to questions, and so forth as well. So that's where you will find that area. If you've already launched and you're in the early stages of launching, if you come to Insights and you're using a ScoreApp landing page, then this will show you how many visitors have arrived at your landing page and how many people have gone on to start the quiz and finish the quiz. The conversion rate is based on number of visitors to those that have started, and we would like to see that conversion rate tracking above 20%. So it's quite nice to sort of keep an eye on that in the early stages. You can jump in and you can make optimizations, at any stage. So I would recommend visiting there. We've got this share on the blue toolbar as well. And so if you're wondering how to embed it on your website, you will see the different options that are available on this page here. So that's blue toolbar, you've got share, and you've got your different options there in terms of embedding it onto your website. If you are not mapping your leads across to a CRM, you can get them directly from the platform under leads. You can export them from that area. think one very last thing I want to show you before we leave the platform is this home area here, and you will find a little courses section. And if there's any element like, oh, I can't remember how to do the results page, or I can't remember how to do this, or you need help, there's small little videos under here that takes you through all of the elements. So that's really useful. Go and check out those. But also feel free to contact us at any time as well. Once you've developed your quiz, obviously you then need to drive traffic towards the scorecard. So I'm just going to share some ideas in terms of promoting that scorecard. Sarah, if you wouldn't mind sharing in the chat the 29 different ways to promote your scorecard, that is a really comprehensive list of some great opportunities to share your scorecard. These are just very top level, but embedding it on your website is a great idea. Having it in your email signature, and basically anything that leaves your office. If you had the your scorecard URL, is a really lovely way for people to interact with you. You can post about your quiz on your social media platforms, as well as having it in all your profile information. It may be that you are posting about something different, but you could use the scorecard or the quiz as your call to action. So it doesn't have to be a specific post about the scorecard. You could just use it. Same for if you do any podcasts or videos or blogs. The scorecard link could be a great way of getting the people that are watching or listening to get them to interact with you. In podcasts as well, you know, if you do run a podcast, you could use the scorecard midway and just say, I'm just going to take the time, pause, go and complete the scorecard, see how you score. So it can be a useful tool there. Events and workshops. So scorecard, to register for Setup and Score, we use a scorecard. You answer a few questions. At the end, you get, thank you, you're registered. Look in your inbox for your Zoom confirmation. We have a template on the platform where you could also use a scorecard in that way. They're mainly organic methods, but you've also got paid for advertising as well. That can definitely be beneficial in driving traffic, and any joint venture partnership. So if you could strike a mutual beneficial relationship where you can leverage each other's audiences, for example, that can be also a really nice way to promote your scorecard. So has anybody got any questions that I can answer? Tony, you've got your hand icon on. How can I help?
That was still on from before when you were asking about the results page, but on the results page, I thought that I'd entered all the information correctly, but clearly I haven't, because I'm not getting the results I was expecting.
Yes, you need to. Sometimes if you've got dynamic content enabled, and low, you need to have the right content entered in low, medium and high. So you need to have it in there three times. Do you think that might be what it is?
I did do that, and yet still I haven't got. Someone took the quiz this morning and they didn't get the results which they should have got. So I don't know.
Okay, do you,
where it is I've gone.
No problem. If you're happy to stay on at the end, I'll just jump in and take a look, and then we can see what's going on there. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Charles, how can I help?
Leigh, yeah, just a quick one. It's a bit of a curly question. I see that on the landing pages, you can put a photo, you know, choose your photo, or you can put a video. Can you use or input a GIF, GIFs?
Yes, we have. I've seen them before on the results page. I haven't seen them before on the landing page, but yes, you can.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Anybody else with any questions?
Yes, but I can't find the hands up thing. Sorry.
That's all right. You can absolutely just shout out to me. That's absolutely fine.
Super. Thank you. Two things. One is more a general comment, really. So I've been doing a bit of speaking recently, and I created a QR code so that when I'm talking, people can So it's been online, so they can scan it, and that takes them straight to the scorecard. So I just wanted to mention that.
That's a brilliant idea. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, absolutely.
No
You can
worries.
use QR codes that link straight to your scorecard. Yeah.
Really easy. And secondly, is it what's the kind of form with having more than one at a time? Because I do talk on various different subjects, and I think it'd be really useful to have 3 or 4. Now, obviously, I'll have to upgrade, and that's absolutely fine. But is that kind of okay to have many?
Absolutely, yes. So yeah, starter packages includes 2. Advanced package includes 6. Those can be 6 live scorecards. They've each got their URLs. They're all connected to their own individual CRMs, so they can run perfectly fine all together.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. David, can I help?
Yeah, hi. Thanks very much for going through both the landing page and the results. That's really great.
No.
I guess one of the questions I had is some of the information that you within the dynamic pages at category level, even at category level, isn't quite, I'm still having to waver, because if there might be sort of 2 or 3 areas within each category, so therefore I'm still guessing as to where their weakness is a bit. And is that really a sign that the overall scorecard is too wide? The question's too wide?
No, I understand what you're saying. I think when you've asked 4 or 5 questions, say for example, if someone scores low, chances are they're not doing any of those that you've asked. So that one's quite easy. If someone scored high, then that they're doing pretty much everything. If someone scored mid, you can't really say link at a question level, you answered yes to this or you answered no. So your advice does need to be more covering all the aspects. So I like to link it to the questions, you should be doing this, you should be doing this, you should be doing this, rather than you said you don't do this, so you should be doing this. You can't be that specific because it's based on the category. So it's just going through, linking to the questions, but all those best practice elements. And
when you said number of scorecards, 2, if you've got 2 and you want to shut one down, does that create a gap for a new one?
Yes. So you can have, on the starter package, it's 2 live, 6 in draft. So if you wanted to change one over, you just turn that one to draft, and then you can create a new live one.
Oh, just turn it back to draft rather than killing it?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah.
And sorry, one more question. This is about the sort of promotion of them. I think you may have seen in there, I have a picture of what the report looks like, and it's got my sort of principal method on there. That's all fine. That's sort of quite straight. When you're trying to catch people in cold calling, maybe on LinkedIn or wherever, given I can only have about sort of 4 or 5 clients at any one point in time. And so I'm really trying to find a very small niche, say 2 out of 100, that might be the sort of person I want to work with, and vice versa. How that seems to be the place to take more risks about. So for example, in the successful first time CEO, in the advertising, I might say how to be a successful first time CEO, in the small brackets. Excuse me, saying something like without becoming an arsehole or without becoming a jerk or something like that. It might put off a whole load of people, but actually I don't care about that so much. The 2 people who I really want to work might be the ones who sit there going, God, absolutely, hang on, this is what I'm going to do. Is there a downside in taking that sort of risk?
I think the benefit of using the scorecard is that you can filter anyway by the score. You've got the data, so you're going to know, right, actually, this person is my ideal client. So I would go for, getting as many leads in you can, and then prioritizing your ideal clients from the data you've collected would be my advice.
So use the filtering in the data rather than trying to do it elsewhere. Okay, yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
makes complete sense. Thank you.
No problem at all. So guys, I'm just conscious we're over time. I'm happy to stay and answer questions, but for those of us that have got everything that I need, I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank you for joining us. There's a number of ways you can contact us. So it's support@scoreapp.com. You can book in a one-to-one call, you can message us, or we also have a live chat feature as well. So you can connect with us in those 3 ways. Please do feel free to reach out. We have a Facebook community, which Sarah, hopefully you've shared the link to. Brilliant, thank you. So that's quite nice if you wanted to share your scorecard in there. We have a great community who are generally very happy to give you their advice on it if you want any more testing. And I also just wanted to finish by saying we do have an affiliate referral scheme. So if anyone asks you, we'd love you to be part of that scheme. You will find it under your account, and we've got this referral section here, and you've got a unique link. So if anyone signs up using your unique link, then you can earn up to 22% commission on what they spend for up to 12 months. And we actually will reach out to you to ask for your PayPal email address, and we pay that per quarter. And anyone that you're referring will also get a 30-day trial as well. If somebody you've referred someone and they haven't used your link, just feel free to drop us a message and we can connect you in the back end as well. But yeah, thank you so much for anyone that needs to jump off, and anyone that needs to stay on and ask some questions, please feel free to do so. Take care. Bye. Bye. Right, Tony, I'm going to start just looking at your results page here.
Okay.
So we've got Tony. Can't remember your surname, Tony.
Wynyard, it's at the top there.
Oh yeah, brilliant. Okay, let's see what's going on with your results page. Results. So this is your results page here. Is that okay? Do you want to save it?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it should be saved. I think it's fine.
Okay, so I'm just going to take over. So which part is not producing the dynamic bit?
So on the overall score, that didn't seem to be. And
high. Okay, so in high, you've got your overall score looks at your opportunity to improve your well-being, which in turn will help you to upgrade. So that's quite generic. Whereas in medium, I think you've got the same. And
actually, looking at it now, just close that concertina or whatever. Where the other results were before. Before you showed this bit there was a section of results.
Oh yeah, this bit here.
Now on the it was where it allowed you to.
Sorry.
I'm seeing your screen is different to what I see on my screen.
Really? Is this the page? Am I on the wrong page, perhaps?
It was, oh yeah, there. So on the, if you just scroll down a little bit on that page. So it was somewhere on this page where category scores. Yeah, I think it was there. Yeah. So I put in different sections for the low scores, for the medium scores, for the high scores, for each of the individual categories.
Yeah.
And yet when someone did the quiz, they didn't get it didn't reflect as to what I put into those different. So essentially there's 5 categories. And so I put in 15 bits of information for the high, medium, low for each of those 5 categories.
Okay. I wonder, because this hasn't got dynamic content enabled, which means it is static at the moment. This one
definitely click the dynamic content. So I'm guessing, is it because there's a few different areas where you have to click the dynamic content? I'm wondering if I need to fill in every single line.
Yeah, it could be that you've put it in here. This is instead of, because this all looks dynamic.
Yeah. That's where I thought I had to put it. So where is it I'm supposed to put it then?
So you can choose where you want to put your dynamic content. So if you're happy with your dynamic content just being in there, then you can take it off here. But here it doesn't include their score. So I think this was always, because it was a template, it was always meant to just summarize the description of the category. So my advice would be to use a scored section and copy and paste maybe your dynamic content from that above section into here.
And so on the left-hand side, what is that called? How do I find that on the left?
So you know how it's called, because when you click on it, it opens up. So this one's called category scores.
Yeah.
So it opens up that editor for you to see. So it's actually, yeah, this area here. If that makes sense.
So is it a case then I need to make sure I've only got one section with the dynamic link ticked?
I think it would make sense, yeah, for your categories. Yeah, I think so. Just one way of presenting those categories, presenting the scores and giving them some dynamic feedback. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, perhaps Sarah and I, maybe between us, we could kind of maybe just clone this page for you so we don't ruin anything you've done, and maybe take what I think should be in the other layer and present it back to you.
Yeah, that would be great if you could, because I thought I'd done it all correctly, and then I was disappointed to find that I hadn't. So. Yeah,
no, we'll help you with that, and we'll reach out to you.
That'd be fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Tony. Anyone else that stayed on the call? Is anyone else got a question that I can help with? Hi, how can I help? Sorry, I just feel free to just unmic and jump in. I'm just trying to move so I can see your name. Here we go.
Hello,
William.
Leigh.
Hi.
Can you hear me? Am I on? Am I on the stage here?
You're on the stage. How can I help?
Well, I have a health package that I'm putting together. I want to start marketing aggressively, and I'm learning technologies, and I'm overwhelmed at the moment with technologies, and I have the most basic questions. I am the least advanced of the people that appeared today, apparently.
How do you know?
Okay,
you
I'll
might
catch
not
up
be.
fast. I come from behind. So I would just like to simply go to a browser, key the URL I need, create my account, because I don't think I've created my account yet.
Yeah.
And start using this. And of course, what you've given today is going to catapult me over the wall and get me working very aggressively forward. I've been having this on my to-do list for 2 weeks. And now I have 3 more days this week. So I don't know how often you do these interfaces, but by the next one, I want to have 1 or 2 pages, scorecards set up for analysis. So how do I know what package I'm on, first off, and then how do I even access, set up, and sign on?
Okay, so Sarah, if you wouldn't mind just checking to see if William exists in our platform. Otherwise, what I would recommend that you do is you go to scoreapp.com, and then if you go to our pricing page here, you can start a trial. So whichever package you'd like to go in on, you can start the trial. So I would recommend, the starter package to begin with. If you click on start trial, it will ask you for your name, your details, your payment information. It will create an account for you, and then you will be able to start building.
But now here's how I entered the family. Presley came on, gave a presentation with John Lee, and I signed up. He said, you'll get 2 months at $39, and then you'll go to the regular price.
2 months. So the John Lee promotion was a 30-day trial, and you can have that trial on any of the package levels. So if you haven't signed up yet, we can share the code that would give you 30 days, and then you can just click on that link and sign up from there.
Okay, and I'm not sure from my memory, whether I actually went an extra step and signed on. I apologize to everyone else for taking time with this, but I need to actually get this going. And I appreciate this.
Sorry,
So I can't remember if I actually signed up or just sent a question saying, how do I sign up in an email, and maybe missed the bounce back on that. So
I've just had a look. I've got an email. William, can I just interject? Sorry, I've got an email address here of earthlink.net.
Yes, and for some reason, Earthlink sometimes shows up as a spam site, and sometimes 1 out of 10 emails do not get through on Earthlink. But it's my primary. I've been with them for 30 years, 20 years, however long they've been around. And I think I'm customer number 2. And but anyway, I'm not sure. And can you tell Sarah if I am enrolled? I am enrolled. Okay, so if I go to scorecard.com right here, the page that comes up, are you keeping score? We are. That's the page that comes up. So am I going to the wrong place?
If you go to manage.scoreapp.com, so that is here, manage.scoreapp.com.
Okay.
Or if you even go to log in here from scoreapp.com, you can log in.
Okay, so I just went to manage, and it's telling me, okay, so here I am here. And then, okay. All right, so then basically I would just go in here, confirm my payment information, and get started. And you said you could send a code for 30 days.
Yeah.
And then I would use that code. And is that 30 days you said was discounted or free?
Free, 30
Oh,
days.
I like that.
Yeah,
That a lot.
Yeah.
So that then I will stumble through this, going through this and the training. And then maybe if there is a, what do I look for on Facebook community?
So we can, Sarah's, did you manage to pick up the link from the chat at all? The Zoom chat.
And I'm in chat now.
Or we could just email it.
I think it's the third message back, William.
Third, okay. Oh, here it is. I got it. Okay, so I'll take that.
Yeah.
Save that. All right. And then what else can I bother you with here at the moment? I'm going to put that here. ScoreApp. And see, I got that you answered. Oh, the affiliate referral program will be obvious once I get on there.
Yeah.
All right,
That would be
thank you
under
very
your
much,
account.
and I'll see how far I get today with this.
Oh, well, good luck. And, let us know if you need any help.
Well, this has been an awesome presentation. Didn't know what to expect. Thank
you. And thank you very much for joining us. And yeah, we'll look forward to working with you to get your scorecard up and running.
I will look forward to it as well. And I'm going to get one out today or tomorrow just for test. And I thank you.
You're brilliant. Well done. Thank you. Was there anybody else that wanted to ask any questions before we finish today? Nope, I think that's everyone. Okay, thanks, guys. Oh,
hello.
Hello.
I'm sorry, just to check. Are you giving a link to the recording of this? You're going to send that a recording or not?
Yes, we will. So we will edit it straight after this session. So it's normally with you tomorrow. If it's not tomorrow, it'll be with you on Thursday at the latest.
And that'll come in an email?
It will come in an email to all those that have registered, yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay, now the other thing is I logged on to this using another email address. I forgot that I signed up with you using a different email address. Okay. And I just wondered, today's the day that I go from free to paid. Okay. Will I be going from free? I can't remember which plan I started on, but I'm a starter. So will it just be the starter rate that I start on when you take the money?
Yep. So Sarah's just going to quickly look at your account just to make sure what package level you're on.
I signed up under Steve. And I've logged on today as my full name by accident because I have more than one email address. But I signed up using Steve as the lead to the the domain.
Okay, but yes, if it's once your 30 days expired, the invoice will just be reflective of the package level that you've selected, and then it will invoice you on that monthly basis going forward. But you can cancel, at any time just by going to your account, and then if you select change plan, it will give you some options there.
Okay, because I think you started with no details, so you can't actually take any money, can you? There's no, I don't think I gave you any bank details for you to be able to take payment.
Which
So
surname did you use, Steve?
Sorry, say again.
Sorry, what surname did you use on your?
Well, I'm here, Stephen Bottomley.
Right.
I'm here now, but my email address, which I joined the promotion from John Lee, was Steve. I use Steve, not Stephen Bottomley.
Yes.
So basically, I know that I just received an email to say that yesterday, to say that was the last day of the free 30-day promotion that John offered. Well, you offered through John, and so today's really payday, and I just wondered how you're going to take payment, because I can't remember giving you any details to take payments, or if I have, then you can take it from there. But I've
got an email address. I won't say the front part. The end, the domain is f2s.com. Would that be the one you signed up with?
That's me. Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Yeah. So your invoice is due today.
It is due today, but how am I going to pay it? Have you got the details?
You've assigned a card. I think when you set up your account, there are card details that you've attached to your account, so it'll just be charged to that card. Okay, and was it the starter package that I chose? It was, yes. Would have been. Okay, brilliant. So it'll be £34.80, and that charge will come out later. The VAT. Is that including the VAT? That is, yes. Okay, all right, excellent. Thank you so much. That's all my problems solved.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Thanks, Stephen.
Cheers. Bye now.
Bye now.
And one quick reiteration from William here. Sarah, would you possibly be able to send me what you know about my sign up? In other words, did I sign up? What did I sign? I think it was probably under News 100 at Earthlink, and anything like that. And then I'll go attempt my sign in, check my payment credentials, my whatever, and I guess you'll include in that the 30-day free code to get started here. Yeah, is that possible? Absolutely. Okay, yeah, and that'll come in an email. That'll come in an email as well. Yes. Yeah. We'll send you all the details, and we'll send you the status of the account and the package that you signed up for originally, and we'll get you all set up back and running, William. I will look forward to that. Thank you very, very much. Okay. Great. Right, guys. So lovely to see you all again, and have a wonderful rest of the day.